and shoot visitors to the White House.
Yeah, that means he can shoot the First Lady.
What he really means is anti-black.
Companies or turn off the internet.
A lot of crazy people saying crazy things, which will be the highlight of today's Fun Friday. Also, a little bit on prices. What will Trump do in a second term in office? Will he turn off the internet? Which is a serious thing uttered on MSNBC. We'll get to that and more coming up on this episode of Daily Caller Live. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Jobob. Daily Caller Live starts right now.
2, 1.
Here we go!
That might be the only brown guy on earth named Jobob.
That is actually their name, Jobob.
Ooh, right. From the Indian bunker that is completely and totally and utterly cut off from the outside world, except for you fine folks. My name is Jobob. This is Daily Caller Live. Thanks so much for tuning in on today. It is Friday, December 15th, the year of our Lord 2023. Fun Friday, as we're calling this particular Friday, because we have a lot of fun things to catch up on. Not super important things, even though we do have KJP talking about prices and apparently either lying or just completely not understanding inflation. Both could be true. We've got the second lady gentleman. I don't know what Doug Emhoff, Kamala Harris's husband, is called. But he made a big oopsie, which I think we're going to highlight. But first, I want to get to this. Later on in the show, we're going to play a montage of unhinged crazy people spouting off what they believe will happen in a second term from Donald Trump. It is funny, it is hilarious, and it is also horrifying that people actually are out there, one, thinking this, and then two, saying it to other people that may believe it, which is a problem. But yesterday, I thought this was hilarious. On MSNBC, Jen Psaki's show, I don't believe in silent letters, a guy, I have his name, who this dude is. When asked what might Donald Trump do, and again, we're going to get to a litany of this, a montage of this later on in the show, but this is the most recent iteration of the crazy thing. He said something that Donald Trump might do in a second term that should strike fear into the hearts of everybody in this country. I kid you not, this man said with a serious face, he might turn off the internet. I'm going to play you the whole clip so you can see it kind of in context. And I know that you don't necessarily need that, but I think most people watching this right now might see me say that and go, there's no way a real person in real life on a real cable news channel said what you just said he said. Au contraire, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this clip from MSNBC in which two people in serious tones seriously said that in the second term, Donald Trump might turn off the internet. Check this out.
Liz Cheney's been talking about that I am also obsessed with is kind of what damage he could do within government without even necessarily breaking the law, like how he could use the levers of government to bend to his will. You've worked in government. What scares you the most?
There's something in the White House called the Doomsday Book. And for the first time, DHS gave authorization for me to mention this publicly. And the fact that there are concerns that that book, which is supposed to be used to protect the country in instances of armed foreign invasion or rebellion, it's the president's most extraordinary powers, could be picked up by Trump and used for domestic political purposes. He could invoke powers we've never heard a president of the United States invoke, potentially to shut down companies or turn off the internet or deploy the U.S. military on U.S. soil.
I don't know. I'm caught between trying to take this seriously and just thinking it's the funniest thing somebody's ever said. And again, we'll get to a lot more of these, but I guess this is the most recent iteration of if we elect Donald Trump, he may in fact shut down companies and turn off the internet because he's such an evil person. Now, again, This is such a weird situation to be in. As I have stated unashamedly on this show, that I think it would be easier for Republicans to win the presidential election next year with a different candidate. That's not to say I am fervently against Donald Trump. If he ends up being the nominee, which 99.9% of the possibility of that happening, I will vote for him in 2024. But at the same time, it would probably be easier if Republicans had someone else. At the same time, you can't help but laugh at this sort of stuff because you're going, all right, what are we doing here? Are we a serious society? Are we a serious people? You just said seriously, in serious tones, on national news, that if Donald Trump is elected, he may turn off the internet. What does that even mean? Do people who watch MSNBC, and I'm being cautious of building a straw man argument here because I think, I don't know, there probably is some lever in which the three major companies that have internet towers can theoretically be shut down by the government, but to say that that is a likelihood if the president wishes to do so, it's just hilarious on so many different freaking levels. But yeah, do you think that the White House has an on-off button for the internet? I don't, honest to God, okay, just hear me out on this. I don't think the president of the United States, whether it's Donald Trump or Joe Biden, could even turn off the power to the White House. I don't think people would let him do that, or her if they elect a female president. I don't even think that's possible. Seriously, and it's not like an incapability thing. I think Joe Biden probably a little bit different of a situation than Donald Trump. Donald Trump would probably be like, I want to turn off the electricity to the White House. And the Secret Service would be like, yeah, we're not going to let you do that. Joe Biden, on the other hand, might be like, I have no idea how to turn off the electricity to the White House. Different scenarios, but still, I don't think the president could turn off the electricity or the utilities to the White House if they wanted to, let alone turn off the internet. Now, I'm going to do something later on today that I feel like it's such a weird job as a quote-unquote content creator. I don't know what this career is because I find myself doing ridiculous stuff for a good portion of the day, which is an interesting kind of thing, especially when you have a wife and a 4-month-old at home. Like I want to help out and do as much as I can around the house, just because, you know, raising a newborn is tough, to say the least. While at the same time being a quote-unquote content creator, I'm going to be down in my lair, my little music studio lair, for probably, I don't know, an hour, maybe a couple hours, making a song with this clip involved that I'm going to play you right now. Because again, I want to repeat it because it's crazy that somebody said it on the internet. And like I said, I will be spending time, and I don't know if it's a waste of time or it's a hilarious use of time given my current career. My wife will probably not think so. Making a song out of this.
Turn off the internet, 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 turn off the internet.
There's no musicality yet to that particular saying, but it's too big of an opportunity to not utilize. I'm going to make an EDM song jokingly out of that because it is so ridiculous, so outlandish that it has to be mocked to the greatest extent possible. Yeah, that's it. Let's get to this. All right, we were going to save this for the end. Dessert, if you will. But we're too into the weeds now. This is a very long video of an extrapolation of what we saw on MSNBC, in which, again, a serious person in serious tones seriously said, Donald Trump might turn off the internet. Which is not as aggressive as things have gotten on your lefty news outlets. This is a montage that has been making its way around the internet for a couple days now. This is not necessarily new, but I figured I'd save it for Fun Friday. Also, there's people in the comment section asking what's going on with the shirt. Yes, this is Joe Biden, and yes, this is his catchphrase t-shirt. The Hood Joe Biden catchphrase t-shirt. They are available on my website and all that, but I like wearing it. We also sell them at comedy shows. And I'll tell you a quick story, and this is part of my stand-up bit, so if you do end up coming to see the stand-up shows, you can still laugh at this joke. But I was in an airport one time, and I was wearing this shirt, and somebody came up to me and said, "How dare you? Your shirt is disgusting." And I've always wanted the confrontation, and finally it was happening to me. And they said, "How dare you make fun of someone with a mental disability?" And then they walked away. So that is why I constantly wear the "What?" Joe Biden t-shirt, which again is available at my website. But any of you in the comment section questioning why I'm wearing a Joe Biden t-shirt, I've got my reasons. But anyways, to move on to what I was wanting to talk about is this montage of people saying all the bad things. Now, this is about 3 minutes long, but it's all just so worth it. I want you to watch this, and we'll probably jump in at several points in time. But Fun Friday, just flowing in full effect. Check this out. This is a bunch of crazy people saying crazy things. Watch this.
What would a second Donald Trump term look like?
Well, he cannot be the next president because if he is...
You can't imagine the things that he's going to do. Mexico, Canada. We can't go to Canada because eventually Canada will become annexed to America.
And shoot visitors to the White House.
Yeah, that means he can shoot the first lady.
We're going to see violence, the likes of which we didn't even see on January 6th.
Make it illegal to run against him, to throw his opponents in jail, to shut down the media.
He will make himself into the Fuhrer, and he will make everybody raise their hand and salute him.
Using martial law against the American people.
Terminate the Constitution.
To rewrite the Constitution.
Create mass internment camps.
Throw everyone into Gitmo.
Might be sent to jail, or their rights might be suppressed, especially minority groups in society.
You might have any number of things happen to you and your family.
Every one of us, our freedom, our liberty, none of us is safe.
He's going to have people around him executing against an enemy's list.
Assassinate generals.
Ordering troops.
Holy crap, man. I'm sorry. I gotta jump in. There's people in the comment section. Jerry's saying, I feel like I'm losing IQ points already. Someone please make them stop. You know what? We're gonna keep rolling on, despite the loss of IQ points. I don't know, man. Mike says derangement syndrome. Yeah, that's. And there's a bunch of people too that I feel like oh shoot, where did this go? I'm trying to scroll up and down. Marcel says, "Damn, what the hell?" Yeah, seriously, like. It's kind of unbelievable that people actually think this and are willing to say this. And Ryan points out, Canada stopped letting Americans in during COVID. Trump had nothing to do with it. Yeah, and also, who wants to go to Canada anyway? We'll let these roll on, and I'll try and read some comments as this continues. Continue watching the devastation that will wreak havoc on the American people if Donald Trump is reelected.
Troops to attack American citizens.
Trump's very well-armed and extremist base will try to kill people.
He's going to basically burn the house down.
He will unravel the institutions of our democracy.
Draw similarities between Mussolini and Hitler.
Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini.
Makes Donald Trump even more dangerous.
Wants to take away your vote.
Senate and the House are immediately going to be paralyzed.
People will begin in their minds to censor themselves. They might say, well, maybe I shouldn't say this.
This is the end of democracy.
I mean, hold on. That's what we're doing now, you goofball. There's so many people on the opposite side of your political philosophy that already feel like they have to say that. Who do you think feels more able to say whatever they want? Do you think it's the conservatives who, if you are to the right of freaking Che Guevara, could be run out of your job for saying, hey, I think maybe having men compete against women might be a bad idea. How dare you? Versus the other side of the aisle who just gets to say and do whatever they want with impunity. again, I don't know if people are evil or stupid, because those are the only two options. Maybe you can have a mixture of both. But you either are so cynical that you're willing to say things that are objectively crazy, or you're so stupid that you unwittingly say things that are objectively crazy. Let's roll on.
Democracy.
I think that could be the end of our democracy.
But democracy is dead if Trump is reelected.
Cozy up to Putin that democracy will be at risk.
The absolute destruction of the Justice Department as we know it.
The Justice Department could be entirely transformed.
I am really concerned about that.
Every person who was associated with the attempted coup elevated in the administration.
If he's reelected, he will curb transgender rights.
The end of the rule of law.
Arrest political opponents.
To persecute, not prosecute, but persecute his enemies.
Take a wrecking ball to the rule of law.
He's going to make the law. Everyone else will have to follow.
I guess, I don't know, the irony is too much. This is also one of those situations where, like, you could get heated about this sort of thing. And we're going to play a clip later on from Gavin where you could get heated. I can see somebody getting really, really, really mad at some of this stuff, and partially about the clip that we're going to play later. But also, you can just sit here and laugh at these bunch of goofballs who say, okay, how do we not understand the irony and stupidity of the statement that says, if he is reelected, it will be the end of democracy? What? Elections, you mean? So you're saying if somebody is democratically elected, it will end democratic elections? Yeah, help me do the mental gymnastics on that. That's like, if somebody is running a 100-meter dash, there will be no more running ever. Hold on, wait. But in order to have the thing that you're saying is ending and finished, you have to participate in that thing? All right. And then the rule of law thing. He will prosecute. No. He will persecute his political enemies. Kind of like what's happening right now to him and a bunch of people on his side. What's the term? Accuse your enemies of that which you are doing yourselves. I don't know. I don't know. Evil or stupid. Those are the only two options. It's almost done. So sorry, but we're almost there.
Vote for Donald Trump may mean the last election that you ever get to vote in.
To go after the independent and free parts of American civic life.
He would tear down our institutions.
Purge the government of employees.
Department by department effort to weaponize the powers of the government.
To use the military to quash protests.
Ridding the government of all democratic safeguards.
Junking American democracy as we have always known it.
That he would try to stay in office beyond a second term. That he would never leave office.
There's no question.
Trump is reelected, he won't leave.
Donald Trump will never leave office voluntarily.
Except for when he left office voluntarily the last time. And also, do you think the guy wants to be in power for, into his mid-80s? Honestly, I don't know why he wants to run now, but, he is, and that's what it is. Where are the lines of defamation? Like, that's what I'm curious about. Like, at what point... Now, he doesn't want to, and the Trump team wouldn't want to file defamation lawsuits against a bunch of these loonies, because that wouldn't really make sense for him to do, considering how much attention he's now getting because people were playing it on this show. This is exactly not necessarily what they want, but they know it benefits them. So I don't think you would want to file a defamation suit. But at what point then do people on the other side of the aisle get to do the same thing without breaking any sort of defamation terms? Like, for example, if I were throwing out a hypothetical, and this is not crazy considering what you just heard, but if hypothetically I were to throw out a situation in which Democrat candidate X could possibly invade your home and murder your family and children, Is that like, it's stupid. It's a ridiculous thing to say. And nobody actually would ever believe that. But if you say it enough times, there was somebody in the comment, I think it was Jim in the comment section saying, yeah, if you say it enough times, sheep will follow. Yeah, okay, well, what if I just did that? Pick Democratic candidate for whatever office and just say repeatedly, this particular candidate could end up doing this crazy thing that nobody actually believes they would ever do. But if I say that long enough, fervently enough, maybe people will start to believe it. I think that was a tactic of Goebbels in Nazi Germany, something that literally lefties are trying to pull now, while accusing the other side of being Nazis. Ironic. Crazy that this is the way things work. But again, I wonder where the lines of defamation are. If I were to say, this Democratic president could, I don't know, do something insanely horrible, which again is what they're claiming. What line? Obviously crosses an ethical line that I wouldn't want to cross. But from a legal standpoint, again, what kind of defamation case is allowed here? I know rules are different for public figures, but I don't know. But I want to move on to this because I think this is interesting too and kind of fits in line with this. This might be the worst thing. Oh no, did I not bring it on the screen? I might not even have it. Oh, never mind. Oh, wait, no, it is gone. Oh, shoot. Shoot, dang, I don't have the Gavin clip. Ah. All right. Well, I don't have this clip of Gavin Newsom, but shoot, I think it's in the intro video. Oh, that's frustrating. Well, we'll hold on. Let's just bring this up at least. This is Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom went on, I think, Seth Meyers' show the other day and said something probably the most, and you can find the clip. I'll retweet it, but this is, I didn't bring it into the fold, and now I don't have it, but this is the clip. This is the shorter clip of the longer clip that was in the intro video, but I'll just characterize what he said. Gavin went on Seth Meyers' show, and I can't believe I missed this yesterday, and said what Ron DeSantis, and by de facto he means everybody, what they really mean by woke, by anti-woke, is anti-black, which is a hilarious notion if you really think about the key perpetrators of woke ideology. In most cases, it isn't black people. It's college-educated liberal white women. So it's an odd thing to say on the face of it, considering the demographics at play. Gavin went on TV and said, when he says anti-woke, they really mean anti-black. Okay, but hold on. Increasingly, black folks are going against the whole woke thing, especially when it comes to their kids in schools. So in what way does that make sense? And also, let's just assume that it makes sense. What else are you saying, Gavin? If you keep threatening a race war, you're gonna get a race war. If you keep instigating races pitted against each other, as Gavin is doing, and a bunch of lefties are doing constantly, you're going to have racial tension. Remember, statistically speaking, this can be shown in pretty much most of your major polls that did any research on this. Race relations got worse under Obama. And the people that try to explain that away and say, well, that's because white people didn't like a black president. If you think Barack Obama got less votes because he's black, you're disastrously wrong. In the same way that you think Hillary Clinton got less votes because she's a woman. If you actually think that, I don't know. I don't know how to give you a dose of reality. Barack Obama got more votes because he's black. Hillary Clinton got more votes because she was a woman, not less. And then to say that, going back to Obama's term, to then double back and say, okay, well, race relations got worse, which is objectively true, then to say because people didn't like a black president, no. It's because the president and a bunch of people on the lefty side of the aisle kept stoking the flames of a race war, an impending race war. And if you keep stoking the flames of races pitted against each other, you're going to end up with a race war. Which side is pushing racial division? It's not the side that says, hey, everybody's welcome, depending on, as long as you believe in American values and traditional values and what this country was founded on. Doesn't matter what you are. Don't care about your skin color. Don't care about where you came from. If you believe in freedom and liberty, welcome. Is it that side that's stoking the racial fires? Or is it this side that says, when they say anti-woke, which most people would think, yeah, the whole transgender kids, men and women's sports, all of that crazy stuff, when they say that, they really mean anti-black. Which side is stoking the flames of a race riot? Huh. Interesting. I don't know. I wonder what it would take to finally get the majority of the country to realize, oh, the racists are on the other side. And then they're accusing their opponents of being racist. Oh. The whole Claudine Gay thing at Harvard, that's been another huge example in the media saying, wow, look at all of these people criticizing this black woman for her academic accolades. No, we're not criticizing her because she's a black woman. We're criticizing her because she's an idiot. And then appears to be pushing racist ideology on one of America's quote-unquote elite universities. I don't care what color skin you are. I don't care what gender you are. Nobody cares. And that should be pretty self-evident by the priorities set forth by both political sides. Again, one of the priorities of one of the sides is your ideas and what you think and how you can defend those ideas or not. And the other side prioritizes, well, there are less this minority in this particular thing, and that matters the most, which is by definition racist, especially when you don't include the minorities that succeed in various aspects of culture and society. I don't know. Crazy. Anyways, Gavin, yeah, on one of your late night shows, saying probably the worst thing he's ever said. And, again, do you get furious about it? Do you get worked up about it? Or you just laugh and go, what a silly, silly man. And if and when, and I hope it doesn't happen, if there is a battle of the races, know that it was brought on by the people who kept pushing it, not by the people that said, doesn't matter what your skin color is, as long as you agree with the ideology, or not agree with the ideology, but as long as you subscribe to the ideas of freedom and liberty, you're welcome. No, it's going to be this guy. It's going to be people like this pushing racism that start any impending race conflict. Oh, this might be racist. I don't know. Maybe this is a shoot. No, we'll do that later. And no, I now have made the joke, and now I can't go back on it. So here, let me make this joke again. Okay. Well, this might actually be racist. If there are stereotypes that exist, which there are, by the way, stereotypes exist for a reason. And we can either be so upset that somebody might have cast a stereotype based on something or other, or we can be, that's kind of funny. Well, here's one of the funny stereotypes, but is possibly racist. This is Kevin McCarthy, for some reason, at a function, looks like a wedding, displaying one of the stereotypes that white people are made fun of most often for, and it is the lack of rhythm. Now, you may be thinking, as a white person watching this, well, I don't like stereotypes regardless of whether or not they're funny. They're degrading. Yeah, but watch this. And let me know if you think Kevin McCarthy and any of the people in this video have any sort of rhythm whatsoever. Kevin McCarthy needs to be locked up. I don't know. I put that on there. Now I'm laughing at my own jokes because I don't know. I have nothing better to do. Watch this. Everyone in this video needs to be put in jail. Check it out. You want to talk about a personal affront to culture? I believe that is a culture crime. Oh, maybe that's what we should. Maybe we should. That's a good term. All right, so let me get a peek into the process here, as if there is a process. Put this video aside for a second. In politics, you have floofy sayings of just nonsense, like I don't know, no one is illegal, and walls don't work, or build bridges instead of walls, build schools instead of prisons. Like those dumb sayings that kind of catch on. That are kind of a lot of it is alliteration. None of those examples that I used was alliteration, but lefties are so much better at that than conservatives. They're just so much better, and that's partly the reason why I'm in the job that I'm in now, is because I was working in politics. I saw that Republicans/conservatives were not good at making up fun sayings that could get people invested in a particular cause. So anyways, as I'm thinking right now, watching this video of Kevin McCarthy, calling it a culture crime, is that a thing? Culture crime? The word culture crime. And I'll even put the playbook out there for everyone. Can we get culture crime as again, alliteration, something that people can kind of get with the program with? Can we get culture crime to be a thing, to where conservatives can get on the same page and look at lefties committing said culture crimes? And I haven't defined what a culture crime is yet, but it could be something to put them on the defensive, on the back foot. I wonder, like pushing CRT or pushing, I don't know, trans kids, whatever. Maybe that can be a culture crime. And we can accuse them of committing culture crimes and then have them have to defend. No, this is not a culture crime, because that's what liberals do to conservatives all the time. And I've said for the longest time, conservatives need to get better at that. All of my friends in the conservative movement, I'm thinking of Charlie Kirk specifically, consistently always says we need to play offense. And this is, I think, how we play offense. We create things that they create that put us on our back foot in order to put them on their back foot. And I think, as I'm thinking out loud, processing this, I think culture crime could be a term that can catch hold. Help me out with that. Let me know what you think the definition of that should be. And we should accuse lefties of it, so that when they do press conferences, I don't know, the reporter from the New York Post say, the president has been accused of a culture crime for pushing trans ideology into elementary schools. What do you say to that? And then we could have KJP up there saying, a culture crime is not, we don't think this is a culture crime. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you get the thinking behind this? Is lefties are so much better at all of this stuff, coming up with catchy phrases. Anyways, as I watched Kevin McCarthy commit, in my opinion, a culture crime with just the complete and utter lack of rhythm in this entire video. That was the thought process. Holy cow, what are we doing? And I say, what are we doing? I mean, what am I doing? I was making fun of Kevin McCarthy and went on to this tirade of how we can fight back on the rhetorical front, on the ideological spectrum. I'm sorry. Anyways, Kevin McCarthy and all of his friends should be in jail for this awful display of dance moves. Anyways, let me know in the comment section if you think of a fun definition of, look at that, Karen, hashtag culture crime. Culture crime conspiracy. I like this. I like all of these things. Just in big capital letters. No, I'm assuming that he's talking about Kevin McCarthy. Let's see. Ryan says AC/DC was even mad about that one. Yeah, seriously. Anyways, if you have any input in the culture crimes definitions, what we should do, I think that can catch on. I'll try and get some of my more popular friends to say that, because I alone can't promote something like that, because well, nobody would care. But that'll do it for us today and this week, and possibly even this year. I'll say this. The show becomes so much more sporadic, and I understand that during like tour season, when we're on the road with Turning Point, show becomes sporadic. But this time in particular, I think this is when all the big talk shows are starting their 2-week Christmas break. And I know we won't be here Monday and Tuesday of next week. Possible we come back Wednesday and Thursday. Possibly Friday of next week. But I'll be traveling. I'll be at America Fest. If you're not going to America Fest, you should. If you have the means and inclination to get to Phoenix, you should. It is a fantastic time in Phoenix. At America Fest, Turning Point USA's biggest event. If you want any information on that, let me know. Also, and I won't say that. If you want any information and possibly means of getting to, again, the biggest freedom party in the country, shoot me a message. I'm pretty good, or someone's pretty good at getting back to a lot of those. If you have any interest in America Fest, but anyways, that's where I'll be the next Monday, Tuesday. Well, tomorrow through Tuesday. So we will not be here. And then again, it kind of is a toss-up up in the air, depending on Christmas plans, and who knows if people are even online. But this is about the time when people start taking their Christmas break. So long for the day, so long for the week, so long possibly for the year, but probably not. We'll see you when we see you, probably and hopefully Wednesday. God bless America.